Final Fantasy Tactics, The Evilise Chronicles, is a story about generational curses and cycles and how to break them. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dorian Andrews, aka Dory Dorell, with the Dory Dorell Music Channel, formerly known as Dorio TV. And I just want to encourage everyone to please like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest news and reviews coming to this channel. So please don't forget to click that notification bell. Also, why not share it? Go ahead and click that share button and share it with all your friends and family. This is real, this is authentic, unfiltered discussion. There is a good cycle in which Ramza becomes the sole successor to Germanique, who was the one who outed Saint Ajora, ended up doxing Saint Ajora's whereabouts, and the church found him and executed him at the gallows where you fight Orlandu.
What did you say?
Not Orlandu, Gafgarian. I am so sorry. This is my favorite game. I can't do that. Oh my gosh. When you are going through the story of Ramza Beov, how he has this name, he has this house, he is from an honorable family under the royal family of the Duke Larg, and he's under the White Lion banner. But as the story unfolds, Ramza decides to just forsake his name in order to discover the truth and save the world from a dire evil that is going to wreak havoc on the whole world. So what Ramza did in this whole game, where he was setting out to defeat the evil in the church that was trying to take over the whole country and gain power and rule the world through these stones, directly correlates to Germanique in what he did when he exposed Saint Ajora. Why does this correlate? Because Saint Ajora, when he was born, he was a miraculous figure, and they said that he could even walk on 2 feet when he first came out of his mother's womb, and he walked over to a well and said, "Hey, this well is poisoned, please don't drink from this." And he foresaw a calamity that was going to happen in the future. So people saw him as like, oh my God, this guy is the Messiah, this guy is a prophet. And eventually his teachings became so radical and dangerous that people started believing in his teaching, that there's going to be an afterlife, there's a paradise waiting for them if they believe. Former church, I'm just going to say the former church, I forgot what it's called, but the former church saw this as a threat to their sustainability, and they started to see Saint Ajora as a liability. So they threatened to persecute and execute Saint Ajora. And once they told Germanique, who was one of his most loyal followers, Germanique loved Saint Ajora. But once he realized the danger that he was putting all of these people into and the seriousness of the church wanting to get rid of him, he decided to side with the church, and he basically snitched and told the church his whereabouts, which led to them capturing Saint Ajora and killing him ultimately, which this is a reference to Judas and how Judas killed Jesus by basically getting some coin and telling the Sanhedrin and all of the Pharisees where Jesus was. So there's a parallel there, and you can see a lot of like Jesus references in this game as well. Germanique was never seen as a hero. Germanique was seen as a traitor throughout all of history. Ramza Beov, after you finish the game, he's still seen as a heretic. He's still seen as somebody who betrayed the church. They hid their records in the church because they don't want people to know the truth, that they were the real heroes. They defeated the real evil. Then you have Alma, who is the vessel for Saint Ajora. They want to revive Saint Ajora so that, well, who is they? the 12 Zodiac Braves who are concealed in these stones, that whole story was a lie. There were no Zodiac Braves. There were no 12 warriors who went to defeat the Lucavi. They are the Lucavi. The 12 Zodiac stones hold the Lucavi, or the fallen creatures who tried to rebel against their creator, or the gods. Why do I know this? Because in Final Fantasy XII, these creatures existed. Belius, Ultima, Hashmel, all of these creatures existed as, I believe, summons in 12. And they're all sealed away because the gods sealed them away after they rebelled and failed in their attempt to overtake the gods. They were sealed away in these Zodiac stones. And the only way that they could get power is to go back into the church and influence these leaders. Now you see people like Elmdor, who died and was revived and became a Lucavi. He became the vessel of one of the Lucavi. Weegraf, who was at the brink of death, and he became a vessel to a Lucavi. You have these people who are using the power of the Lucavi, not knowing that they are now the vessels of the Lucavi. And these Lucavi, their main goal in the whole game is to use the power of the church to come together, collecting all 12 stones, and then using Alma's body as the vessel to reawaken St. Ajora. Once they're all together, St. Ajora, aka Ultima, will come together with his warriors and try for a second time to defeat the gods. If they can defeat the gods this time, then they will rule over all of Ivalice with their demonic power. Doesn't sound like a good ending to me. So, St. Ajora was the reincarnation of Ultima, because when Ultima was banished a long time ago for betraying the gods made Ultima into this Thor-like figure, where Ultima is basically reincarnated every generation or so as a human. That is Ultima's punishment. Ultima was inside of St. Ajora from his birth. So all the miracles and the words he spoke and all these things about paradise that he was talking about, that was not him, that was Ultima speaking through him. When St. Ajora promised the people about paradise, he was talking about what Ultima envisioned as paradise. Ultima was trying to make a world that he saw as perfect. And that is a fallen world, a corrupt world, because Ultima is aka a fallen god, a fallen angel, if you'd like to say. I mean, it's kind of similar to the story of Lucifer, how Lucifer rebelled against God and God banished him and all of his fallen angels, and now they are in chains. But the devil still seeks, people to serve him, and the devil still wants people to reject God, because when people reject Jesus is Christ or that God is real, then that's Lucifer's excuse. Like, this is why I did what I did. You should have gave all your authority and power to me. Why did you give it to these mere humans who sin all the time and don't believe in you? Doesn't make sense to Lucifer. Still doesn't make sense to him. If you feel the same way I do about this game, let me know. If you disagree with some of the points that I made, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest coming to this channel. My latest single is out now, Skeletons, and it is a collab with my friend Nightlight, and we have a whole album coming out in January. There will be 5 songs that we collabed on, an introduction, and a song featuring one of my favorite rappers, Dre Murray from Houston, Texas. Great man. So if you like what you heard, let me know. Click that notification bell for all the latest coming to this channel, and I will see you next time. It's your boy, Dory Durrell, signing out. Deuce, deuce.